How you folks doing? Hero of None here with your Mundus Minute on August 21st, 2020. News, Luxury Merchant, and Golden Merchant stuff all in a few minutes. So first up in the news, if you're an Xbox player on North American or EU servers, do not spend any crowns. There's been a bug that came out, and some people have an excessive amount of crowns. They're taking the servers down tomorrow, August 22nd, to try fixing this issue. And it's highly recommended you do not spend an excessive amount of crowns to go along with this. Coming up for all players on PC, we're going to have the update 27 on August 24th for PC, Mac, Stadia, and September 1st for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. This new DLC is going to include 2 new dungeons and the housing changes. It will not include, however, the AOE tests, which are now going to be coming on September 8th. Those tests are going to include 4 tests, which are going to be increasing AOE costs, repeated AOE cost, including a cooldown of 3 seconds on 1 week, a combination of such, and they're also include other tests after that with some interesting things that have been suggested by the community. So guys, that's gonna be it for the AOE tests when they come out, and expect to have this running through October inside Cyrida only at this time. But a lot of interesting things are gonna be coming with that too, so pay attention, post on the forums if you have any feedback. Let's take a look at the Luxury Merchant and the Golden Merchant for today. So first up on the Luxury Merchant, boulders, cactus, a Lunafair. It's kind of a, this is a little bit inspired, I think, from the Elsewhere chapter. And you can get some of these actually for pretty cheap comparatively. This is pretty big, and you're only getting it for $4.50. Definitely do take a look at that. Now, next up on the Golden Merchant for this week, Stygian Necklace. Spell damage, stamina, magicka, and when you're using a sneaker and invisible and you do damage, your magic abilities are increased by 20%. Okay, not really great. You don't do your critical damage with that. Maybe good for Nightblades, but I think most others would be going for something else to give a bit more straight up damage, spell damage or weapon damage. Also for 150, Ring of the Martial Knowledge. Magicka, spell damage, and while your stamina is below 50%, your light attacks cause the enemies to take 8% additional damage for 5 seconds. So if I concur once every 8 seconds. Really weird set, and I would definitely not recommend it at this point. For 250k, Hemjoss Ring, stamina recovery, stamina, weapon critical, and when you're in 28 meters of an enemy that dies and you're in combat, you get Major Berserk for 5 seconds, increasing your damage done by 25%. I haven't seen too many builds use this. I did see a while back somebody using this with Vicious Death, but that was when Vicious Death had a much bigger radius to it. Since then, I haven't seen it used that much, and I think other folks have other ways to get Major Berserk. Maybe. I don't want to say that for certain. But overall, just would skip this. If you really wanted to get this, you could get this out of Ruins of Mazatun. Ring of the Jailbreak. Stamina recovery, and gain Major Expedition or Minor Expedition at all times, increasing your movement speed by 10%. This one I believe you can get out of Banished Cells, and most people just throw it away. I would definitely not get this one, and for 250k, it's really not worth it. For 100k, you can get Grundle's Visage. If you don't have this DLC, which comes out of Unhallowed Grave, you can get this. Whenever you deal critical damage, you restore magicka or stamina, whichever is higher. You also gain 337 of the other resource. You can concur once every 5 seconds. Really not that great in terms of resource generation. And then you can also get Stonekeepers, guys. If you are a tank, I would definitely recommend you pick this up. Even with the nerf it has, Basically, when you block, you get an energy charge. When it hits 6 charges, you get a lot of stamina back, and magicka, and also heal. So if you're stamina tank or your magicka tank, this could be very helpful to you, especially if you do not have the DLC, which this comes out of Ice Reach. All right, folks. I'm here at None. That's the Mundus Minute. See y'all in Tamriel.